Hello. I'll wait for some people to jump on. Y'all, the energy be wild, and I had the literally the wildest day yesterday. I'm just like straight like I was in like a channel vortex yesterday. This eclipse was on my Mercury, square my Neptune, Saturn, square my Jupiter. My chart was getting all the hits. 91.5 the hits. That was the frequency we were tuning into. We were tuning into a lot of things. Things are like happening like on a next level, moment by moment basis right now is what it feels like. There's so much changing. It's like the energy is palpable. Things are getting calibrated. And really kind of like what I feel like, it's like we were used to kind of viewing life like this. Hi! We were seeing life like this, and now we're recognizing the totality of the experience, that we experience life like this. Because the line isn't actually like this, it's a full circle. It's a full circle. And guess what also is a full circle? Your birth chart, right? Because it's a full cycle of birth, life, and death. Confirmation. And how your life plays out is like dependent on the energy of your birth chart. And there's progressions and there's transits and there's energy for you to evolve and adapt and influence and all of that. And this eclipse was getting you in balance with it. Because if you were anywhere in your life is out of balance, then you can't receive the full totality of the experience, the expansion. And so this eclipse was really kind of this like recalibration point of like tipping the scales, right? Libra's the scales. Of really like, okay, like what's my computer's gonna die. Oh no. That's okay. I'm like, I need my notes. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna plug it in. 1 second. It's important. Oh my God. All right. Let's see. Are we still here? We're good to go. Okay. You know, sometimes when your laptop is just like by your, like sitting there, but it's never actually, you don't actually ever like plug it in. I've been watching that new Netflix show too. So it's like, okay, I've just been using my charge, right? Okay, back to it. That is the energy, right? It's like you are getting plugged back in. Like that is the energy. It was like the way that you were doing it, it's like the time was running out on the way that you were doing things, and now you just actually needed to get plugged back in order for like your full vibrancy to turn back on. Your light switch had to turn back on is what I'm getting. And I'm like I turned all my lights on, right? It's like you were sitting in the dark and it's like time to fucking switch the light on and like reawaken and reactivate your life and live life in a full fucking circle and take up space. And this is always what I say to people about expansion, right? Expansion happens in all ways. And so there's perceived contrast and there's perceived blessings, right? It's nothing is good or bad. It's just the totality of the experience. But if you experience the contrast, that means you will always be met on the opposite side of the love, of the abundance, of the success, the other side of that contrast is, right? But so you have to be able to hold the container of the capacity and also be able to hold, I really look at it as like the masculine is kind of like the bottom piece and then the feminine is kind of the top. And when they're in synergy and they're working in harmony, it's like you can always just expand and stretch further, right? You do this, but really it's like, right? And so your feminine energy, you have to be able to make it seen, because so many people Their masculine holds them down here, right? Their overbearing, protective masculine, they do this, right? They protect it so that their light's not shining. And so they're not actually like attracting and receiving what they want because their light's not on. If your light's not on, how do people know you're home, right? And so, and some people like myself, like we really actually had to descend. My Venus is gorgeous and pretty and sits at the top of my chart, and she's just like was like waiting for my masculine to get his shit together because I have Mars square Chiron in my chart, and so I have no roots in my chart, so I've had to like really learn to ground into my masculine and into my body, right, so that I can hold the totality of the experience. And so depending on your chart, like my chart is all this, it's all up here, and so I had to do this down, like I had to do this, right? It was like an upwards Y, and then I had to do the downwards Y, right? The yin and the yang. And some people's charts are different. Some people's are like this, and then they have to do this. And some people's charts are just a good balance, you know? It's totally dependent on like you and your chart of like where you need to come back into balance. But that's really what this eclipse was about, was like recalibrating and rebalancing your body and your life and your birth chart so that you could go and stretch and expand. Because like the up levels that are happening with everyone in my world right now is like so crazy. It's so wild. It's so fun to witness because it's like people are having like next level like transformations and awakenings, like just like overnight. My friend was saying today, she's like the energy is like changing, like life could just be changing by the minute. It's like any minute could just be different. And I'm like, yeah, that's like what makes it so exciting. And so wherever that like internal Rubik's Cube was getting shape shifted, it's like, so then you can then like upgrade and like be like a massive Rubik's Cube, right? And like a solved puzzle. It's like we were solving the pieces to our puzzle. Astrology gives you the pieces to solve your puzzle, right? So that you can be in alignment with your purpose and really receive the totality of the experience. And so and what's really happening is like high frequency beings are like leading the way forward. And so really, really, the high frequency people are the ones that are like fucking thriving right now. Like all of my high frequency people are thriving right now. And it's because we really did the work when Pluto was in Capricorn to really prepare for Pluto in Aquarius. And so if you haven't been doing the work with Pluto in Capricorn, you're going to be doing the work with Pluto in Aquarius. That's really what it is. And you're going to have to like upgrade your frequency with Pluto in Aquarius. And Pluto is really like, we're feeling Pluto really strongly because Pluto is going to station direct next week in Capricorn. And you always feel the outer planets the most of its station. And so we're feeling Pluto is like the undertow. It's a strong as fuck current that you can't see, you can only feel. That is Pluto. And so, you know, you go and like it's like the thing like the locals know, but like if a tourist comes from out of town and they don't know where the undertow is, then they just get shipped off to a totally different part of the sea. That's like what Pluto will do. And so it's like, okay, like thought you were going this way and then you caught the undertow and now you're like in a completely different place. And that's Pluto. It's like redirecting, but it pulls you under. It's like, we're going to go this way, and it pulls you down into the subconscious because you had to uncover the subconscious barriers and the subconscious blocks in order to be in alignment. Because it's like just processing things from up here, it was just no longer working for you. You had to process things on a visceral level, on a subconscious level. Your body is your subconscious, right? So your body had to really purge a lot of these pains, a lot of these fears, a lot of these emotions that were keeping you tied to your past, right? Capricorn is the past. Aquarius is the future. And so we're really at this like turning point right now between the past and the future. And it's like, if you've been moving and acting accordingly, it's just like you're sailing on a yacht downstream, right? It's just like the universe is like, good job, you get an A+. Here's your yacht. Like go pop the champagne and celebrate. And we're just gonna send you on your merry way because you've been doing the work for yourself, right? And Capricorn keeps time. Like Capricorn has been tracking you. It's like, have you been doing the work, right? It's like for 4 easy payments of doing the damn work, you get exactly what you want. That's Capricorn, right? In the Aquarius land where we're going, the things are like can land overnight. Like time is an illusion in Aquarius land. It's like things actually don't have to take a long time. They can literally just be cleared and shifted like that, right? Capricorn is slow build success. Aquarius, frequency success. It's like Aquarius is your success is a result of your high vibration and frequency. Capricorn was like you had to do the hard work to reap the rewards, right? And so we're transitioning from that way of being, the Capricorn structure, into the new way of being. And so that requires things to be purged and to be rebalanced, which is what this eclipse was having us do. It's like you actually were just so out of balance that you had to just be like, wrong way, right? The universe is just like, and so, but if you had always been operating from this new frequency, this new future frequency, then it's like life has been really smooth sailing, and it's just really just kind of had you ascend higher. Whereas it's like the people who were stuck in Capricorn land that are having a hard time right now, and I'm seeing that all over the place. The people who are still stuck in 3D living, no. But I also do want to emphasize the importance of 3D living. Like it's not, we're never not gonna live in the 3D experience. Like that's what we're here doing on Earth. So it's not shunning the 3D. It's not shunning the 3D. It's balancing the 3D with the 5D, right? And so it's like, but sometimes when the energy shifts, it's like the energy just had to be swung in the completely different direction for things to come into balance. And so it's not about like saying like we're never going to use like Capricorn systems and structures again. It's like we absolutely will, but that's just not going to be the only way that success is built and created going forward, right? It's like when we combine the future and the vision and the revolutionary innovation of Aquarius with the Capricorn structures of support, of stability, right? Of practicality, with the visionary lens. It's like that is your magic for wild success. But right now it's like the pendulum is getting swung to Aquarius. And it's like, the way that I see this is like, because for me, my awakening process was about dissension. My entire chart is up here. I'm all air and I'm air and fire and I'm up here. So I had to descend, right? Most people have to do this, right? And so, but in order to do this, because if you're stubborn, that's when the universe rocks you because you weren't moving, right? So if you're too stubborn and you're just existing on the 3D, to get up here, things are gonna have to fucking shift. You're gonna have to break through the ground, right? It's like the roots can only grow so far down before they can start growing up. And if you're too stuck, like not moving, or you're only moving like this, that's when the lightning strikes and the ground breaks, right? That's Aquarius. Aquarius is the lightning strike. It's Uranus, it's the disruptor, right? That's what Uranus and Taurus has been doing since 2018. It's been like shaking out your roots. It's been like, you gotta, that's not the way it works anymore. It's not the way it works anymore. Like, stop holding on. And so right now, it's like we're being shifted from earth to air, right? And so, like, think about it. Like a plane, at some point, has to leave the ground. It has to take flight, right? It's not always just on the ground. If you want to get somewhere else, you actually have to take off. Like, the plane has to take off. Hello? My Venus is in Sagittarius. I'm like what time do you need me there? I'm always ready to change. I'm always ready to go, right? But you can't always just be in the air either. You have to ground the plane. The plane needs fuel, right? You got to deboard. There's like a whole like checks and procedures that happens on the ground, right? The plane needs to rest and recoup and recalibrate, right? There's importance in both. You can't always be at flight and you can't always be on the ground. And so wherever you were out of balance is what's being swung in the other direction so that you can actually create what you want. So if things have been happening and shaking out, you can let me know in the comments. Or have you just been taking flight? Because if you've been doing the work, you've been taking flight, for sure, for sure. And sometimes when you take flight in a new jet for the first time, there's a new calibration time. It's like, think about going from flying commercial to flying private. Like, that experience is going to feel different. And so the plane, like the flight experience is going to feel different. And you're like, oh, there's like this whole new experience that I'm not quite used to adjusting to, right? There's some things you need to learn how to navigate, right? And so there's just like this blank, wide open space for you to fly into and figure out. But what that is, it's up for you. It's up for you to create your own flight path. You're the pilot, right? You're the pilot. So where are you directing and navigating your plane? Your PJ. And then you can get like insight from the grounds crew, the flight crew, you know, the air traffic controllers, have them let you know like where there's other flights in your path, right? Those are the people who support you and assist you on your trajectory. But it's like you are in the commander of your spaceship, right? And so you really just gotta like jet forward, launch forward. I'm seeing just like the pilot just like, I'm like putting like the plane like full fucking flight. Cause you have to like, you know, before you lift off your plane, you gotta go really fast on the jetway, right? And then you lift. And so it's like right now it's like we're getting pushed in the universe to have momentum to like lift off. And that looks like leaving some people behind in commercial, you know what I mean? Not everyone gets to fly on your private jet. And so these transformations that we're undergoing right now are really profound, like really profound, powerful shifts. And it's like Jupiter is going to station retrograde and Pluto is going, so it's like this, we're doing this. We were already doing this between Aries and Libra, right? The rebalancing of the masculine and the feminine. It's more like this. I'm such a Gemini moon, like talking and demonstrating with my hands. And now what's happening is like the transfer of guard is happening from Jupiter to Pluto. Because Jupiter retrograde, it's like the expansion happened, it's like the balloon expanded and like it can't expand further than this. So it's like you actually have until like the 9th to like expand your capacity. And then it's like that's where like the intellectual growth stops because Jupiter's in Gemini. And so any opportunities, you want to continue like pushing forward because Jupiter's going to have you stretched until a certain point wherever Gemini is in your chart. And then it's like, all right, we're going to like do this then. Because then it's going to have you review all of everything that's been illuminated since Jupiter went into Gemini end of May. So use this time accordingly because then Pluto's going to be direct. And it's going to be like a kick in the pants for like 5 weeks, 5-6 weeks. While it traces back its last degree of Capricorn. This is a 16-year cycle that we're closing up to enter the new one. And so put your goals and your direction towards the future in mind and go for it. So it's like we're really releasing the past. Capricorn is the past. Aquarius is the future. So if you want to learn how to work with the astrology to next level your life, this is exactly what I'm teaching you how to do inside Cosmic Conduit. And the whole goal of Cosmic Conduit is to, one, teach you the astrology, but to also give you the clarity to how to decipher and discern what the astrology is telling you, so that you know where to turn and focus your energy, right? You can be like, oh, Pluto's in Capricorn at the last degree. I know exactly where this is in my chart. I know what exactly planets and placements this is affecting. And I know exactly what to do to reclaim the power of my authority in my life and in my chart, right? Which you should also just get a reclamation of power. That's probably my favorite thing I've ever taught. Just saying, like, that will shift your life and relationships. Promise. Promise. People who were in that container were like, there was like pre this container and post this container. I'm like, I know, it was so good. That's really the transfer of power that's happening with Pluto exiting Capricorn. It's like authority. You're taking responsibility and authority in your life, which looks like untangling your relationship dynamics, really, which is again what this eclipse is having us do. And so then you're like, okay, like it makes, like, astrology makes it so apparent for where you can turn your energy to become more embodied and emboldened in yourself and in your birth chart and in your purpose and in your strengths and in your talents and in your gifts and in your mission. Because astrology just really connects and attunes you to the cosmic consciousness, to the collective consciousness. It taps you into your intuition, right? So that you always know that you're guided and supported. Like, astrology has been my rock and my anchor for almost a decade now, right? Because when things are chaotic and confusing, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, the external life is like shifting. It's like, no, like, you're prepared, you're grounded, you know exactly what to do because the astrology is telling you exactly what's happening. And you know exactly what to integrate and how to turn your energy to shift, right? It's validating, it's liberating, and it gives you the freedom and permission to, one, live life as you know you're meant to, right? But also, two, you always just know how to get in alignment to actualize your potential and your purpose, right? So that you can be in your power, you can live a positive life, and you feel like you're in control of your destiny because you're attuned to the consciousness of the astrology. Astrology is always directing the energy. It's like you and the universe have a secret code. And you have the key to the safe. I have been like Zach Galifianakis and like The Hangover with like the geometry symbols being like, holy fuck, like I'm deciphering code in like new fucking ways. The eclipse is on my Mercury. Like, I spent all day yesterday like fucking channeling next level shit, and I was like, holy fuck. Holy fuck. Like, psychic gifts just like exploding, right? And so many new beliefs like unlocking, right? Which, 9th house Mercury, right? And two, like, I was talking with my friend yesterday and we were talking about our cycles from 2005. Like, here's just like really how I want you to picture astrology, right? Like, I am a math wizard and I love puzzles. That's what astrology is. It's like a puzzle. And so I was like helping her put together like pieces of her puzzle from 2005. And then like, it's like, oh, right. Like, we know exactly what's being asked of her now to clear the energy. Because it's like, we tracked the eclipse from 2005, right? There's no better tool to understand your patterns and your programs than astrology, because it like literally just tells you what it is. It's like literally like Morse code for your fucking soul. So it always is showing you the patterns. It's wild. It's wild. And it's like this puzzle and this goose chase that you get to go like solve. The universe has been putting me on like such a fun wild goose chase lately. It's been so fun. I love an adventure. I love a puzzle. Things are happening. And I'm going to teach you how to decipher this code and solve the puzzle of your soul inside of Cosmic Conduit. It's going to be so fun. You're going to be so liberated in yourself. You're going to like understand yourself on a new way so that you can actually next level and create the change, because you understand the astrology and you have the knowledge and the personal development tools to actually integrate it. Because you don't have a knowledge problem, you have an integration problem. And so this is why I teach astrology the way that I do, because my life didn't shift until I actually learned how to apply it. Like, the applied astrology is where the juice is at. And we're going to have so many fun cosmic conversations. I guarantee you your intuition is going to unlock in new ways. The people in the container are so powerful. I'm like, oh man, like we're creating like a power vortex is how I see it. And then it's just going to be like this like container for power. Like it's like, and it's just going to like, we're just going to explode into our next levels. So I'm super excited. You can message me if you have questions. We start Monday, Tuesday of next week and end the year super strong and powerful in aligned with the cosmos, baby. I'm super excited for the rest of the year. It's gonna like be bam, 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 bam. Like so many things are gonna happen. And buckle up, baby. Buckle up. Okay, happy Friday. Love ya. Bye.